All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Monday Night YouTube Live. So, got a lot to go over tonight. A lot of stocks, a lot of stuff to talk about. I see a mention of MBRX. Want to talk about MBRX and some of the things to kind of look for as well as avoid. But as always, the focus is on the watch list tonight. So, if you haven't subscribed to StocksToTrade.com/watch list, check it out. It's free. That's what we're talking about tonight. It's in your inbox every Sunday afternoon. And these are kind of like what I would call swing trade ideas, part-time trader friendly ideas. And the nice thing is it hits your inbox on Sunday and you can act on them through the week. We had a couple that played out today. A couple other ones are kind of set up for later. And then also going to review the picks from last week and why we care about them. Because, something I always want to point out is, I know everybody wants picks. Everybody wants ideas. Everybody wants tickers. Give me a stock to buy now. What's the hot stock for tomorrow? What's the hot stock for today? But it's more about the process and the recognition of being self-sufficient over time and being able to find these tickers on your own. So a couple of them I'm going to talk about. We went over these sheets this morning in the strategy session in StocksToTrade Pro, RIOT, AMRS, and others. These were ideas that we really dialed in, breaking down these sheets, focusing on our types of setups. And sorry, my wife is pulling me out of the garage. So I was trying to see what she was doing, but life happened. So anyway, we're going to talk about those and we're going to break down some charts and really kind of think about the ideas we're looking at going into this week. So a couple of things I want to remind you about. Steady Trade Podcast, new episode every Monday. So go to SteadyTrade.com, search on YouTube, or on iTunes, on Android. We're everywhere with the Steady Trade Podcast. It's free, it's fun, it's educational. And the big thing I want to talk about is Wednesday night. So tonight's Monday. If you're here live, if you're watching this tomorrow, Wednesday night, I'm doing an in-depth webinar on how I use VWAP. Many questions about VWAP. What is it? How do you use it to plan trades, entries, exits, etc.? That is Wednesday night. So I'll drop these links in chat. It's free. Show up. Would love to have you. So let's get to work. Those are the big announcements I got for the week. The podcast and the free webinar Wednesday night. So let me share my screen and let's get to work and get some. Entire screen share. So here we go. Going back to last week, the main ideas were Disney, high price stock, and I get it. I know most of you guys are probably here for penny stocks. You want to find the big moves. You want to trade the low float stocks or whatever. But man, you can't fight the fact that Disney was a solid trade, last week, especially if you're a part-time trader and you're looking to trade stocks that you can kind of forget about. Disney opened the week last week after that big gap up on the announcement. They announced their streaming service ground higher. It's near 52-week highs and really is one to watch going into this week. We're in earnings season. That's one of the big things to focus on. Is you're going to see a lot of earnings coming out on these real stocks. And what happens in earnings season is, even if the stock isn't in your sector or isn't in your wheelhouse, for lack of a better term, you see so many sympathy plays during earnings season. So look for Disney to re-break out. If you like $100 stocks, if you don't like $100 stocks, you can ignore it. But the idea worked. This thing was grinding higher for days. It's tried to go red to green today. Didn't quite get there. But I think the idea is intact. Keep a focus on it. Ooh, my favorite, Tiger. So TIGR, you can go back to the watch list. The date was, we came into the week on the 15th. Notice on the 15th, Tiger opened up at 1750. Had kind of a weak open. I know it's kind of hard to see, but dropped at the open, reclaimed the previous day's highs. So this is one of the biggest things I like to focus on for these setups, is breaking through the previous week's highs. And man, look at that. Freaking beautiful. This is Friday. This is Monday. And I know the candles are kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. So look at right here. This is Monday morning and 5-minute candles. You get kind of a doji candle and then a big yank and then a gradual trend higher and then a break through Friday's highs. And then look at that. Look at the volume come in. Look at the price action come in. And all of a sudden it goes from 17 to 24 the next day. That is exactly what we look for. Recent IPO, hot sector, trending stock, a lot of momentum behind it. I mean, all of these things are everything we look for. Now, you see that parabolic move the next day. It goes from 19 to 25, but that's where you look to sell. Whether you call it a parabolic move, a supernova, an exponential move, a whatever you want to call it. When you get $5, $6, $7 a share, that's where you take profits. Have realistic expectations. Don't look to overstay, okay? We love these stocks because they make the big moves, but they can make them to the downside as well. But have a plan, and when you get that 3-to-1 risk to reward. So if you're in Tiger from the weekend watch list and you're looking for a 50 cents a downside and you get $3 a share of upside, that is where you take those profits, okay? And that is, I mean, look at that move. Oh, it's a thing of beauty, especially if I go to 15-minute. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. That is what you look to sell into. So, and Tiger's still in play. It's selling off. I mean, I get it. A lot of the hype has moved on to Pinterest, which is a stock we're going to talk about tonight. But that next day, on Wednesday, a lot of selling. But that's just people, you see all these big red candles? That's people that don't know how to sell in the strength. And they're panicking because they're like, oh gosh, why didn't I sell at 24? Why didn't I sell at 22? Why didn't I sell at 20? Why didn't I sell at 18? Don't be part of the loser mentality. Don't be part of the bag holders, the people that don't have a plan. You know, the reason trading, especially low price stocks, gets such a bad rap is because so many traders don't have the right mentality. And they're like, oh, I'm up multiple dollars a share. I want $10 a share. I want it to go to the moon. You know, that's the funny thing everybody says about cryptocurrencies. You know, the moon is next. Well, if you're waiting for the moon, you're doomed. You will fail. So the killer move on Monday and Tuesday, coming out of tax day, man, Monday is my favorite move. Just that weak 15-minute candle and then a break of a high and then selling the strength on Tuesday. And I need to sneeze. That's why it's YouTube Live. I can't edit out the sneezes. But anyway, next on the list is VRML, which didn't do really anything. Kind of a boring stock. But what I like about VRML, think about it. So you come in Monday morning on the 15th and you're like, hey, the stock's on watch. I want to buy it. I want to trade this. It's interesting to me. Maybe you liked the RML. But what I try and focus on these watch lists is stocks that don't get you in trouble. And worst case scenario. So let's talk about worst case scenario. You buy VRML at like 145. It goes nowhere. And then at the end of the week, you sell at 135. You're down 10 cents a share. Those are the stocks you want to look for. The stocks that don't put you in bad situations. So VRML, I don't want to call it a bad idea, but it's just like it didn't work. At the end of the day, the trade didn't work, but you sell on Friday, you're down 10 cents a share. Who cares? If you can't take a 10 cent a share loss and be okay with that, you're going to struggle in trading. If you think you got to win on every trade and you got to make bank, bro, you're going to struggle. Sorry. You have to be willing to focus on these setups that have the high risk to reward. When they work, they move big. When they don't work, you lose 10 cents a share and you move on. PHAS, another mediocre idea. Whoops. You can see it's range bound. It's just stuck in those channels. So look at I love the Fibonacci levels, and look how they play out all week. Just chop up and down, up and down, up and down. Nothing. There was nothing there. That's great. Much like VMRL, it goes nowhere, no harm, no foul. So let's look at this week's ideas. Pinterest. Hard to read these IPOs because of the, you only have 2 days of charting. You have Thursday and you have today. But what I love to see today was that break of Thursday's highs. It pulled back a little bit, but it's still holding above that 25 level. It's at 24.83 in after hours. But solid price action. 2 green days out of Pinterest. There's a blog article I did, a video I did, breaking down why I like Pinterest, why I like it more than Lyft. It's a solid idea. I like it. And man, these are the types of trades where just look for those new highs. It's a new highs and VWAP. And you might be thinking, okay, what do you mean by new highs and VWAP? Again, that's the goal for Wednesday night. I'm going to be talking about that a lot. Pinterest, one of my favorite ideas. AMRS went nowhere today. Still in play. Closed at roughly 5, had kind of a big candle. And remember, a lot of these stocks, if they trickle down in after hours, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I like that it closed above 5 and, you know, hanging around. And if you look at the yearly chart, it's trying really hard to get to that 6 level. So AMRS is more of a late day idea, or late week idea, looking for the 6 reclaim and then a push to that 6-month breakout. So AMRS it's Monday, only one trading day. AMRS is more of a middle of the week, end of the week idea. RIOT was the top gapper this week or today. Blockchain stocks are hot. Cryptos, Bitcoin is pushing new highs. Well, not new highs. Sorry. Yeah, Bitcoin's a long way from new highs. But Bitcoin is at that 5,300 level, which is a level not seen since, 6 months, 9 months ago. And I really like RIOT because of the fact that they are, you know, I hate to bless any of these cryptocurrency stocks, but they're in mining. They've ran in the past. I actually like their business model. Go to their webpage, read about them, learn about them. There's a lot to like about RIOT, and you can see that today they hit a roughly 9-month breakout. So solid move. I would call this a cup and handle on the daily chart. May not be a perfect cup and handle, but you see how this stock tends to spike, pull back, respike, pull back, and respike. And that's what I'm looking at in early April here. Spiked up, big gap up, couple days, put in that kind of cup and handle, and then rebroke out on Thursday. Remember, we were closed on Friday, no trading on Friday. So big move on Friday and then continued, or big move on Thursday, sorry, and then continued today. RIOT was the main gapper idea. And I think this can continue as long as Bitcoin and other cryptos don't get quote unquote sketchy. So TPNL, I don't think it did anything today. Big pullback on Thursday. Yeah, TPNL, watch that 9 level. I would set alerts. I would be prepared for 9. Payments, electronic payments. Nice chart. I love this big run, big candle back in February, couple months of consolidation, and then that break on Thursday. But no trade here. Wait for the re-breakout in the 9s. And that's what I like about what we're doing here is a lot of these ideas, I mean, I'm not trying to do hindsight type stuff. I'm setting you up for later in the week. UXIN. Ooh, yeah. The squeeze du jour. So UXIN had a crazy move back in December. We were all over this in StocksToTrade Pro from, you know, like 4 to 8. It proceeded to go to 10. Now, sold off hard on the insider lockup expiration. A lot of insiders sold. It's been choppy kind of all over the place. But a couple days ago, some bad news came out. Dropped to 120. Quote unquote, everybody was short. And this thing is bagged a ton of short sellers. You can see 5, 6, 7 red days in a row. And then a huge day on Wednesday, another green day on Thursday, and another green day today. I mean, If you want an alert, you want to catch a stock moving big, be ready for UXIN at 4. This thing breaks that 4 level, everybody is going to panic. Everybody's going to want out. And when I say everybody, I mean short sellers. And you're going to see some buying come in too, because now it's broke that level from back in January. Everybody's fired up. Everybody's getting ready to attack. So look for that $4 level on UXIN. You know, you got to have a plan. You got to stick to it, like I always say, but that's a key level. All right, guys and gals, love you. That's the recap of today. Let me hit chat and see. How do you set up your Fibonacci retracement? Super easy. You hit that little speedometer gauge. It's what I call it, but it's your technical indicators. Go to Fibonacci retracement, and there it is. Now, I color it for light green. I like the lime green, but you can set it any color you want. Go Tim, you're the best resource for free. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hasafun says, thanks for the info. Thank you. MBRX. I mean, man, MBRX. This is one of my most hated stocks. Despise this stock. And I talked about it for days in StocksToTrade Pro. You know, I missed the run up. I hated this stock at $1. I hated it at $1.20. I hated it at $2, and it proceeded to go to $3.20. But the reason I hate these stocks with sketchy history is because what MBRX did tonight. Closed at the high of the day. I mean, it's like a perfect close. And then all of a sudden at 5:30, it drops $1 a share. So track your data. Keep track of the tickers that have worked for you in the past and haven't worked for you in the past. I mean, look at all these green candles. I mean, look at the volume and the candles. It is beautiful. And when I went live at 3:30 tonight in StocksToTrade Pro, I was like, oh, MBRX hurts my soul for the miss. But I was like, I hate this stock, hate this stock, hate this stock. And then it gaps down $1 a share after hours. The links in the description are not working. I will check that out distant. Sorry about that. I think the move is done on MBRX. Totally agree. There's a reason I hated this stock. Can you buy and sell on non-trading hours? Ismail, it's a good question. Yes, you can trade in after hours. Yes, you can trade in pre-market, but I don't recommend it. If you are a new trader, avoid pre-market, avoid after hours. Pre-market and after hours just induce FOMO. You'll get suckered in and you'll hate it. So my thing is, and this is one of the things I love to say, if you can't be consistent from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern, you will not be consistent trading in pre-market or trading in after hours. Avoid it like the plague until you get consistent. If you're green 4 out of 5 days, start dabbling in pre-market. Start dabbling in after hours. But you will not find consistency outside normal market hours. Can you send the link for setting up the scanners? Paul, I will do you one better. Paul, I will actually post in the comments my top 6 favorite scanners. Their 52-week highs, their volume boost, their VWAPs. I've got a bunch of stuff. So, Paul, I'll give you my 6 favorite KISS scanners. I call them KISS scanners, and I will post you instructions on how to import them. So Barry says, I was in MBRX this morning. I got out at 12:30, which is right about here. Then I saw the chart a couple hours ago and wanted to die, or a couple hours later and wanted to die. Barry, I mean, listen, I'm guessing you sold for a profit. This is another thing to write down and memorize this. In sketchy penny stock land, you can never be out too soon, okay? Focus on green days. Focus on selling into strength. You will never go broke taking profits, Barry. It's impossible to go broke taking profits. Now, I'm right there with you, Barry. This morning, I'm doing a webinar, so right here at, 9:20 a.m., and I'm like, I hate this stock. It's the worst of the worst. I would never buy this. I literally said, if I am looking to trade MBRX, I should go for a dog walk. I should go, lift some weights. I should read a book. I should do everything but trade MBRX. And it was at $1.20. Okay. So I'm right there with you, Barry. But you traded it. You sold for profits. Never play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game. Okay. 9 cents a share, Barry. It's green is green, man. Green is green. Yeah, MBRX was higher float. Man, I tell you, I love it. Chris, PH or what was the low floater? Was it PHE? Crap, gotta check my notes. What was the low floater of the day? RHE, sorry. So RHE, 1.5 million float, went bananas today. MBRX, higher float. I don't blame you, Chris, for ignoring MBRX because of the higher float. Guys and gals, really, man, I tell you, I enjoy these Monday night sessions, man. Great comments, great questions. This is cool stuff, man. We've been gradually building this over the last few weeks. I appreciate everyone for being here, and I love the great questions, man. And Barry says he found MBRX on his own. That's what I care about, man. I know we're going over the watch list. I know we're going over scans, but the goal is self-sufficiency. I want each and every one of you to be a self-sufficient, consistently profitable trader. That is the goal. All right, everyone. Remember, I will post in the comments the link to Wednesday night. We're going to be dialed in, super focused on VWAP. I hope all of you subscribe to the watch list. If you don't, that link will be in the comments. And check out SteadyTrade.com. We have fun, but it's educational. And I will see you next Monday night. Oh, if you like what I do, I mean, I love trading. I love talking stocks. I love talking ideas. This is what I live for. I do twice daily webinars in StocksToTrade Pro. Actually, today I did 3 webinars, but I'm live in chat every morning at 7 a.m. or earlier. Some days I'm in chat even earlier. So if you want to take your trading to the next level, check out StocksToTrade Pro. If you want to have fun, check out SteadyTrade. If you want some free education, Check out the Wednesday night webinar, and I wish you all the best. We live in an incredible time. I think it's one of the best times to learn trading and speculation, and I hope the best for each and every one of you. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.